Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to make my son a mini Batman armoured helmet. I got this reference toy here, so I'm going to kind of use this as a guide. And what I did with some paper, I kind of made like a rough template just to get the measurement of his head and just to see where his eyes and ears would be. So I just kind of attached that with some masking tape. And then from there, on some Bristol cardstock, I've got a rough shape here of how the helmet's going to look on the side. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut this out with some scissors. And from this template, I'm going to just try and make a rough paper template to put on my son's head just to see how it fits. So what I'm going to do, this is going to be one side of the helmet. I'm just going to get a marker, and on another sheet I'm just going to trace it and cut it out the same. That way I've got two sides. Okay, so I've got two sides there of the helmet, and what I'm going to do, I kind of got this strip and I just kind of measured it over my son's head. So I've got two of those now, and what I'm going to do, with some masking tape, I'm just going to tape everything together. And this template I'm going to use as a rough guide, because I'm actually going to make the helmet out of foam. But the reason I'm using paper first is so that way I just don't waste foam and cut it for unnecessary reasons, because it's cheaper to use paper, to make a mistake on paper, should I say, than on foam. So that's kind of one half done there, and then I'll repeat the same for the other side. And now I'm just going to tape along in the middle. So that's kind of like the top part of the helmet there. And then what I'm doing, I'm just kind of using my other paper template just to cut away certain areas. So I'm going to cut the same here on the side, and then I'll just transfer it over. So then I can cut this piece out. Then I'm just going to mark this. And now I'm just going to cut some of the shape away here for the faceplate part of the helmet. So anytime I make a cut on one side, I'll take that piece of paper, transfer it over, and then cut it the opposite side. That way everything pretty much looks symmetrical. So now I'm going to make the back part. I kind of want this to curve in a bit, just so it's not so blocky. So what I did, I just put a bit of tape on the back just to kind of hold it, and then I've got some cardstock here, folded it in half, and the top part I've pretty much made it the same width as the top part there of the helmet. So I'm just going to tape this on. and just press it down firmly so it kind of sticks. And then I'll do the same here on the other side. So I'm just going to cut a line up here up the center. And then what I'm going to do, I'm kind of match it up onto the side where I've got the angle where the tape's holding it. And then from there what I can do is just kind of see where I'm going to cut a line. Just kind of cut it over there in the middle. So as you can see, it kind of tapers a little bit in from the top going down to the bottom. And now what I'm going to do, I've got the front faceplate here, this smaller template, so I'm going to use this as a guide to where I should cut my eye holes and attach the chin area. So I've got this part up on here, it kind of matches up here with the top. And if you do make a mistake for any reason, you know, it's not a problem, you can just overlap it with some paper and cut again. So I've got the eyes cut here. I cut one out and then I flipped it over symmetrical, and then I also did the same here with the chin strap. I cut one side and then I flipped it over and taped it onto the other side. So now I'm going to let my son try this on, see how it works. Looks pretty good here around the back, but it's still a little bit big here in the chin area, so I'm just going to adjust that. And the way I adjusted that was just I cut some paper away from the bottom and added it back on. And now I'm going to add a bit more blue tape on the top. Alright, turn your head. Turn your head the other way. So this side looks pretty good now, this sizing for him. So now what I'm ready to do is actually cut this away and transfer this onto foam. So what I did, I've got some lines and I've kind of marked a line along the center all the way around. So I'm going to cut this down the center. So I've got the helmet cut in half now, because what I'm going to do is actually flatten everything out to use it as a template. So that's one half. And now I'm going to cut this section here. And just be real careful when you cut this, just go along the line that you marked and mark the same for the opposite side. And actually where I've got this tapered in, I'm going to cut that line there. So that's one half. And even though you got two sides, you could pretty much just use one side of the helmet and the top part and just flip it over. So what now I'm going to do is put this onto some EVA floor foam mats that I like to use, and I'm going to trace this around with a Sharpie. So just lay it flat. So as you can see on the bottom right hand corner, I've got one side of the helmet done, and then on the left hand side on the bottom I also traced the helmet, and now I'm going to trace the eyepiece here with this flap that goes along the top of the helmet. And then I'm going to flip that over there. Now whenever I lay out my patterns on foam, I try and put them as close together as possible. That way I don't waste foam, so I can use it for another project. Okay, and what I'm going to use is a real sharp knife to cut these out. Take your time on cutting these out. So I've got these cut out here, and what I'm actually going to use is some contact cement. Please make sure that you do wear a respirator when you attach the pieces together, because the fumes are very strong. I've used hot glue in the past, but this is the contact cement. I just used some throwaway brushes, but this is a lot better than a hot glue gun, because the glue is actually real flexible. So what I did, I cut away the eye holes here, because the nose actually recesses in a bit. So what you can do is cut it, and if you see there on the nose, I pushed the foam back and I just glued it there with some contact cement. So I've got the rough shape here of the helmet. I'm pretty pleased the way it's looking so far, and I'm just adding some details here. I've added some scratch marks on the top, and with some just thin foam that you can get from Michaels or Hobby Lobby, I've cut some shapes here for the eyebrows. Now this part here, my blade was kind of getting a bit dull, but I can come back in and sand this, so that's not a problem. And on the inside there, it kind of has like a little bit of a side chin strap, so I stuck some foam there on the inside as well. And what I did around the back area, I've attached some foam along the sides and the back of the neck, because it just shows where it kind of recesses in a bit. And I'll use contact cement to glue this also. So this is what it's looking like so far. So now I'm getting ready to actually spray paint it. And for this I'm going to use some Plasti Dip, so it coats it. But what I did first, I actually got a heat gun. I went over the foam helmet with a heat gun, just to close all the pores, and then I sprayed it with some Plasti Dip. I let that dry, and then I came back in and sprayed it black, and I added some metallic gunmetal spray paint here. So what I'm going to do, just spray this like so, but make sure you wear a respirator for this also, and just do a few coats of black and silver just to kind of until you get the tone that you want. And then I've gone in with some clear coat enamel just to seal everything in. And I did about 2 coats on this also. So I'm going to let that dry. I did notice on the inside of the eyes, there kind of has like a recessed part that's black. So what I did, I got some cardstock and just cut around where I want the piece to go. And what I also did, I came with some silver paint, and I actually just kind of dry brushed it on certain areas. Now instead of gluing the cardstock, what I'm going to do is actually transfer this over onto foam. So I cut 2 pieces out, and they're going to go on the inside. Before I glue those, I'm going to spray these black, and then I'm going to let them dry. And then with some contact cement, I'm going to attach a little piece on both sides. So I've got these stuck in, and I've just got some white cardstock just behind for now, because I'm not sure if I'm going to put lights or just kind of some filtered mirrored paper on there. So I'm going to see what my son's more comfortable with. But this is what the helmet's looking like so far, guys. I added some more scratches in, and I dry brushed it with some black acrylic and silver. So please stay tuned, guys. We're going to be doing more work on this and also the costume. So thank you so much for watching.